You are listening to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast. I'm Samantha Brown, a professional organizer and business coach. In this podcast, you will learn how to start and scale the organizing business of your dreams. So let's jump in. Welcome back to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast. In today's episode, I'm going over my free PDF that I have available for you on my website. All of the links will be in the show notes below. So I will be going over the list of everything I have learned through starting my own professional organizing business. A lot of these are what I teach in my Pro Organizers coaching program. I will be going through the entire list in this episode, and then in the next 5 or 6 episodes, I will make it a series breaking down each topic and explaining each item on the list in more detail, so that way you can take everything I have learned and use it to further your own business. So on my list, the first step that I recommend is called Getting Started. So under Getting Started, I have research the professional organizing industry. You will also want to read some organizing books or look into some organizing blogs. You will want to research business advice websites, because as a professional organizer, it is not just about the actual organizing, it is also about the business side of things. I have find a mentor, coach, or business consultant, and of course, that is what I do for women that are just like you, starting their organizing businesses. I have that you need to name your business and develop a tagline. You will need to buy your domain, and I recommend GoDaddy.com, and then you can transfer it into Squarespace because they always have a better deal than if you just buy it straight through Squarespace to start with. And then you will also want to check with the Secretary of State for the name availability and file for your DBA, which stands for Doing Business As. All right, so I've also got your legal and banking side of things. You need to decide your entity, as in, are you a solopreneur? Are you wanting to go the LLC route? Then we've also got register your business name with the Secretary of State and other local agencies. You want to research tax requirements for your state and register with the Department of Revenue. You need to purchase business insurance, your liability, errors and omissions, which I talked about in the previous episode, and I will talk about more in the actual episodes where I break down each one of these things. You will need to complete your federal SS4 form and get an EIN number, which is kind of like your social security number for your business. Then you also are going to want to open a business bank account and purchase checks and deposit slips. You need to get a business debit card and or credit card, preferably at first just the debit card. And then you also want to set up a merchant account like Square to accept credit cards or a service like PayPal or Venmo. All right, then we've also got logistics. So the logistics of having an organizing business are not a ton, but you do need to set up a desk or office space in your home or wherever you plan on doing business from, just so you have a specific area with all of your paperwork and where you can do your business. Then you need to set up a phone number and a voicemail message so you sound professional when people call your business number, or if you want to use your personal number with the voicemail message, however you would like to do that. And then you also need to create an email signature line that includes your area code and phone number, so anytime you email someone, it looks more legit as a business. All right, now the actual doing business side of things, you need to, number 1, define how you are going to price your services and your rates, either hourly or by packages, and I will definitely go into that when I break down each one of these in a following episode. Then number 2, you need to establish billing policies. Number 3, you need to develop your service agreements with your contract. Number 4, you need to purchase and set up accounting software or create invoicing systems. And then number 5 under doing business is you need to decide if you want to hire a bookkeeper or an accountant and how you're going to do your tax side of things. So then we also have marketing and branding. Number 1 under that is purchase a domain name. Number 2, I have set up your website hosting, and of course, I recommend Squarespace. Number 3, you need to set up your business email. You need to create a logo. You need to get at least one professional headshot. The way I did this for the professional headshot was I went onto my camera on my phone, because they're just as good as anything nowadays, and did the portrait mode. And then under the portrait mode, I had actually one of my teenagers take some photos of me that looked professional. And so you can go that route if you can't or don't want to pay for an actual photographer at the very beginning. You can always do that later, but you at least need some photos of who you are so people can connect with you and see what you look like. Then you want to write a professional bio. You want to create some business cards. Under marketing and branding, you need to create a website for yourself or hire the designer. Then you need to create your social media profiles. And like I spoke about in the previous episode, you want to pick one platform and focus on that. And then once you're consistent with that, you can always add more later. And then you also want to get the word out that you are open for business. So, of course, I have that on here because this is the steps and the check marks that you are able to go through to have your business, from the idea of I want to be a professional organizer all the way to I'm open and I am accepting clients. Okay, I have one more area, and that is client experience, because you always want to think about what is the client experience from beginning to end. So I have new client questionnaire. You want to have intake forms, or you may call it an assessment form that you fill out when they call you. You also need the consultation process. You need to go through it and figure out exactly what that's going to look like for you. You know, your expectations, the billing, your services, etc., and how you're going to explain them and your plan for doing that. You need to have either a welcome letter or a booking confirmation in, like a calendar app or Calendly, or however you personally want to do that. There's multiple options out there. And then the last thing I have under client experience is your feedback form, testimonials, online reviews under like Google, Yelp, that kind of thing. Now, there's a few things that I would also recommend doing that I help my clients with, that include getting yourself on Google My Business, which is no longer Google My Business. It's just getting yourself on Google Maps, because that's where everyone looks for a service-based business. Also, other options like findmyorganizer.com, which on there it is completely free to set up a profile of yourself in your area. Then there are definitely other options of things that would be helpful in marketing your business. But that is definitely once you get to the point of saying, okay, I am a business, I'm ready to go. I have all of the back office stuff done. I've done all my research. I have everything done. Now I'm ready to accept clients. So you want to make sure that your foundation is fully developed. And that's why it is not technically on this list just yet. But of course, I help my clients with that, of once they have fully gotten everything done for the business side of things, for how to set up their consultation, how to actually get the organizing done. And then once they get to that point and everything's ready and their foundation is completely formed, then we move into how do you market the actual business that is now open and ready for business. So I hope that this helps you. I know this was super short, but I do want to keep most of these episodes at least under 20 minutes so they can be small forms of information, and that you can take the information and actually go and have tangible tips that you can follow after listening to each and every episode. So again, like I said, after this episode, there will be at least 5 or 6 more breaking down each one of these steps and exactly how I advise my clients to do it and how I did it of each one of the steps. So I hope this was helpful. Again, I will be back with you in the next few episodes and in this next series that I'm coming out with. I hope this is extremely helpful. All of the links are in the show notes, and I will talk with you soon. Have a blessed day. You have been listening to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast. Go to the show notes to find all of the links mentioned in this episode, and hit that subscribe and automatic download button so you don't miss a single thing. Thanks for listening.